So another possible short I'm looking at is AVAX. Fundamentally a strong coin, especially in that whole layer 1 ecosystem narrative. But as you can see now, price also is looking quite shit at the moment. Very simple. Let's draw some things. You could draw a trend line here, poorly drawn. It's broken. Retest on the other side. We had the all-time high. This was still a potential higher low, but unfortunately price couldn't hold up, so this was the first lower high, resulting into a lower low as well. So what are we expecting? Another lower high. So that's the bias on a weekly higher time frame. So if we want to draw out levels, what are the levels that immediately stand out? I generally do is just on a naked eye, and what I see here is that we have a level over here. So price hit this level, wicked well above, resistance, 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 almost, let's say, a deviation above, trying to hit these stops, sell off and move down lower. This was your, let's say, 2-3 month accumulation. Price broke up over this level, retest 1, twice, 3 times, moving all the way up again. We could also draw out this level, but I'm not sure yet how it will interact. It's not too bad, but what you can see that this level was also important on this down move here. So this was the last move down, the weekly move down. So this is just for orientation, this level, to, let's say, find important zones. So this was my last move down. It's a huge level, so I'm going to see if I can narrow it down on a daily time frame. Move up, correction, all-time high. So for me, it looks like one of these wicks, let's say this wick or maybe this wick, has also acted as solid support. One touch support up, 1, 2, 3. This was the level, not only causing the all-time high, but also the first lower high. Support, support, breakdown, hardly any resistance moving up to this level. Price broke up, moved up, and what do I see now? I see another level here. Price wicked well above, of course, and then it had resistance once, twice, sell off. So it was resistance 2 times. What do I see more? If I look at this range, these are key levels, and when I look at zones, this is a key level, of course, that stands out, because this was the last weekly body, candle body move up before actually hitting that lower low. So this is actually confirming the downtrend after this low was being breached. So for me, this level is important. Above that, this level is important, because this was, in hindsight, was the first lower high. But since price is not there yet, not relevant for now, I delete it. So let's move to the daily time frame. Just take out volume. So let's move this one down. So we have actually 2 levels on this side. We have a level that was causing support already here, this one, and this level originates from here. Support, 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 retest, move up. So for me, I take into account recency, but I also take into account the heaviness or the weight of the level. So what I can see now here is that this level has been acting as support a couple of times already. It's just for me to, let's say, build my narrative around price, to understand what price has been doing. This level, if relevant, let's draw it here. This level near this wick has been important in this entire move up, move down before all-time high was reached, and it provided support. This is a nice hook. once, twice, thrice, and I don't know how to say 4 times, 5 times, and then moving up, support, support, breakdown. And there was hardly any interaction here. So if price moves down, then this could be a good level to take profits if you are considering a short. Price moved up, moving back down. And what I also start to see here is that this was the weekly level, but I also see an interesting level showing up. Let's see, we have a level here which interacted, support, resistance. It's not as clean, so you could also just more or less draw it. No, it's actually this level has good interaction like this. So we have the confluence of several levels over here. If I look at just the fib levels of this entire move, and then I'm thinking, I think I'll just include this one as well, because so what you see here is that we have a 50% level of the entire range. I'm not really, you can also take it from here. Last move down. This was the retest. No, I would not do this. More or less this is nicer. So we're very close to the mid level as well. So you can also expect some, and this is actually a nice, because this was the last move up, the entire move up to all-time high, and there's a good interaction with this level. So once this level is flipped, support, support, breakdown, resistance near the other levels, support, move up, support, breakdown, resistance, sell off. So we're getting into this level again. So if I want to be more specific, it hit this level, because I also want to make it, let's say, as clear as possible. So I have good confluence on the 50% level of this entire move, which more or less dictates or influence price while it's still in the range. So why is this level for me important? So this level is not unimportant as well, because what we see is that the last level here, this was the high, and this was the last daily level. So let's mark out this level. I'll do it dotted, just to show that it's, for me, it's a wick for orientation. And let's narrow it down. So this is my last move up, my daily, the last daily up, and you can also just include these two candles, that's up to your liking. Last move up, sell off, and now it's hitting this level again. And there's quite some interaction with this level, both on the support side but also on earlier stances. But recency matters, so I'll also take into account recency. Let's just drop down to the 4-hour level, and we see that these stops, these levels were hit once and then twice. There was quite a huge candle on high volume, if I'm not mistaken. Price crawls up, some whipsaw, Darth Maul kind of price action. But for me, especially on the 4-hour, this is important level. So my assumption is that price can still, let's say, wick into these levels to get ultimate liquidity, because this was the level that was, see, you can actually see if you look very carefully, this was, let's say, the stop hunt for everybody that had their stops close above there. So this is the highest level that I don't want to be, I don't want to get caught on the wrong side of that level. So I could place my stop over here above this dotted line, and then I can either just take a short now and have that stop over here targeting the green level, or I can maybe wait into this level, or I can assume that, just take this off, this level need to be broken on the 4-hour to start opening a short. And if this closes below, then you can also assume that you don't want this level to be broken. It's just to, I don't know if it truly matters, because this is a matter of 1 or 2%. But this could be an interesting short opportunity into this cluster. And if this one doesn't hold as well, then you can aim for this one. So currently we're now trading into this range. If you want to, let's say, consider a range bound level. Okay, see, this is interesting. Once, twice, support, retest, sell off. And now we're again stuck in this range, resistance, move in almost to the upside, the upper band of the range, and now it's on the 50%. If we lose the 50% level, you can short on a retest, assuming that these highs will not get broken. Safe bet is high above, aiming for the lower end of the range. Then you can either assume if it wicks below, closes above, that you can trade it up to the 50% again and maybe punt another short. If this one loses as well and it does a retest on the lower end of this range, then you can safely assume that we're now stuck into this range. Let's say I would assume this range, and you can trade it up to the 50 and then downwards again. So that would be my plan. Maybe I do I wait for this level to be broken on the 4 hour, and if it drops quite significantly, it could be that I'm out of the trade. So therefore I'm still considering maybe opening a short here with a stop over here. That's for, let's say, maybe 25 or maybe 50% of my short position, and then add to it once we break down, and then open immediately or wait for a retest if it closes quite significantly below, and then aim for this level target 1, and then close 50%. If it doesn't hold, then I'll go for this level and then this level.